Go.
Hey out there, all you Dillion Panther football fans. Welcome to another season of Team Dudersmith Returns. I am Coach Eric Taylor, and I'm here with my co-host, Buddy Garrity.
Hey, whoa. Buddy Garrity couldn't make it. I'm Dudersmith Jr. today, okay?
Dudersmith Jr., and I'm not actually Coach Eric Taylor, guys. I'm just Sean Hamill. Yeah. I gotta stop lying to you guys, but we are very excited about another season of Panther football.
We are. I would be so excited for another season of Panther football if they were like, "Hey man, Friday Night Lights is coming back." I'd be like, "I'm in." You don't even need to tell me anything else. Let's go. Like if it got renewed on Peacock, I'd be like, "I'm in." Let's
fine.
You want me? You got me. All right, you got me.
They've got it. I haven't heard anybody talking about it, but there's a Mighty Ducks series on Disney Plus now.
Yes, I want to watch it, but I can't convince my wife to watch the first 3 so that she can watch this. Because we watched that karate, the fucking
Karate
show.
Kid?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. We watched Cobra Kai, and if you haven't watched Cobra Kai, you need to fucking watch Cobra Kai. It is one of the best shows. Fuck yeah! It is so good.
Okay. Should I rewatch the movies first? I haven't seen them in a long time.
You could, because they do a good job of calling back to them, and so you watch them, you're like, oh shit, yeah, totally. Like in a weird way, they're creating this Karate Kid universe, and I'm here for it.
Is Hilary Swank part of this universe?
Not yet, but dude, never say never. That's like what I'm gonna hold out for.
Goonies never say die.
Right. Because you know what? They talked about Goonies having a sequel to Goonies that never panned out, and they literally talk, oh, it's happening, and then it never happened, right?
Right.
I feel like with Karate Kid, they were like, we gotta strike while the iron's hot, and they did, and it's perfect.
Good for them.
So good.
It started off on YouTube Red before that fell into the sea like California is going to do someday. It was a prototype California YouTube Red.
We were talking about California before we, because I want to go very much.
Yes.
And I don't know why. I've only been to California once. And the only time I was there was when I stopped in the airport. So I ate a really shitty Burger King in the airport, sitting on the ground. That was
your California experience.
Everyone has this magical, cruising up the Pacific
trees,
Highway.
the Hollywood sign.
Right? Or even cool stuff like going to the desert and doing lots of fucking drugs with the dudes from Queens of Stone Age and there's my California.
Like a homeless person in a court who somebody gave a hamburger to because they didn't want to give him booze money.
It was the worst hamburger.
Little ragamuffin.
I'm looking at these mountains in California.
Sadly. Single tears making the burger that much saltier.
Yeah. Just majestic landscape. And I'm like, ah. Wow.
That's quite a picture you just painted. So you'd like to go back and maybe try it again. Take 2.
Yeah, right.
Leave the airport this time.
Man, I went my Hollywood moment too, all right?
I tell you what, if I ever actually get the call to go to Hollywood, you can fly out with me and stay in whatever hotel I'm in.
All right, deal.
And you don't have to sit on the floor unless you want to.
I might, because that's kind of my jam.
Yeah. But you won't have to do it if you don't want to. That's the thing. I have this vision of the airport being so full that you basically had to sit on the floor to eat your hamburger.
Well, there was a little of that. It was under construction too. Like, it's a very bleak picture. And then I looked over and I saw the mountains, and I was like, well, this is actually pretty beautiful. If I gotta eat a shitty fucking Burger King hamburger, like, at least I'm looking at the fucking mountains over here, and that's pretty fucking cool.
You're hearing like Hotel California on the PA system.
But like the worst thing is like knowing I'm in San Francisco, but like in this like sealed bubble that I can't leave and go experience all this cool culture and all like natural beauty and But it is what it is, right? But also, oh no, I couldn't sit in a chair. That's what it was. This is when I had my knee and it messed up on me. Is when I got when I found out I had arthritis in my knee. Coming back.
So this wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. But I want to go back. I really want to go back because I've been to Jamaica, and I know the beaches in California aren't the same. And that's the thing. Like, people tell me, like, Pacific Ocean's pretty cold, man. Like, even in California, it's pretty fucking cold. So, I guess I would have to get used to, because I'm like used to, when I picture beaches, I'm like, oh, it's Caribbean. It's like, warm water. It's always right. Warm there, and I don't know if that's necessarily going to be what I get, but I'm willing to chance it. I guess I'm going to roll the dice. I guess I'm going to pull our friend Rody John and roll the dice and see what happens.
I fully support this plan to go to California. Maybe wait till COVID is,
Sure. I get my next shot. Hopefully, they haven't scheduled it yet, but hopefully. Hopefully, when did you get? I got it like last week.
So, did they reach out by email? That's how it worked.
Yeah, that's how they did the first time. So I imagine they'll get like it's going to be the end of this month. So I imagine they'll reach out again. It was like sudden too. They were like, "Hey, 2 days from now, you can have a fucking vaccine appointment. Go." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Shit!
Well, let me clear my schedule real quick.
Well, the nice thing is that's not like that's a call that that the world has to stop and let you take.
Yeah. Even like,
you don't have to justify.
Right. Luckily, my job is cool, and like we're working from home. They're being really cool about COVID right now, but also it's cool, and we're in a position that I can be like, hey, look, I really have to go between the hours at 1:00, and I have to be in this city, and I have to go get this shot because I need to come back to some semblance of normalcy.
Right.
So
I get my second shot on Tuesday. Which one did you get? I got the Pfizer.
I got Moderna. We're gonna have like, what if like, because they're both mRNA. What if like we both mutate in different ways? We'll have this show as like a way to always remember that, I guess. That
we were once human before before our X-Men powers turned us into mortal enemies.
Which one? Man, so are you Magneto or are you Professor X, man?
I mean, I guess like, you seem like the more cheerful of the two of us, so I guess I'm gonna have to be Magneto and you're gonna be the one.
I think we both got a dark side to it, because here's the thing: ultimately, we'll be Onslaught anyway, right? Like,
wait, what was Onslaught like? Future Professor?
No, I think he was like a mixture of Magneto and his, but like it was also just a part of like Charles that was like always in him that like then manifested. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, this was over like 30 years. This was probably like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I never read that storyline.
Dude, I was so into those comics where I couldn't buy them. We didn't have a lot of money back then, so I wasn't really into comic books. But like, someone would like give me the issues, and I'd be like, I'd devour them. I'd be like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. Wolverine doesn't have a hand. Like, I didn't think that was possible.
What do you mean Magneto pulled all the adamantium out of Wolverine's body?
Yeah. I mean, I read that. I think that like I read that and I was like, we're done here.
And then Colossus turned on the team.
Yeah, man. And like a weird, like sort of like, I've got to nurse this man, this Magneto man.
The 90s were a hell of a drug, especially if you were an X-Men fan.
They really were. Better than anything I've ever been on.
Yeah, seriously.
Far not.
Whatever Jim Lee and Chris Claremont and fucking Rob Liefeld were on in the 90s.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I'm sure it's documented at this point, right? Like, I'm sure it's documented that Rob Liefeld was like, yeah, I fucking was huge into coke back then, or something like that.
I don't actually know. read one of those, the Marvel Comics, The Untold Stories, where like the guys in the Bronze Age who would write like Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel would like take mushrooms and walk around Brooklyn at 3 a.m, just like planning out stories for the next year, which sounds like my dream job.
Yeah, right. Like, sign me up, man. Like, I could give you all kinds of stuff.
Right.
I will do it for even less, man. Like, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing it for nothing right now. So anything above and beyond that would be appreciated.
I'm in, man. Like, you know where to find me. If you found me here, you know where to find me.
I honestly don't know about Rob Liefeld. I remember when he was in a Gap jeans commercial.
I don't remember that, but that doesn't surprise me.
Directed by like Spike Lee.
Wow, man, the 90s were fucking crazy.
Right?
They really were. I don't know if you want to get into a 90s like rabbit hole, but I, as a person who has been feeling particularly old, I just feel like the 90s, they felt better, and we've talked about this a lot. Like, they felt better, but no, I didn't know that he was in a. I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm not gonna look it up now, but it'd take me far too long to do it. But I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, find it. It's like comic book artists were like rock stars for like a minute in the early 90s.
I certainly thought they were.
I mean, they're still rock stars to me, but like they were rock stars that you would actually put on TV and people would be like, holy shit, Well,
this was like the 90s felt like a weird sort of crossover generation, like, or not a generation, but I don't know. I guess there's always like instances of that, like in every historical era, right? Like someone breaks through and goes, hey, no, this is changing. It's going to tear and you're going to deal with it. And the 90s had its fair share of that, right? And I'm sure the 2000s had its fair share, and the 90s were like, what the fuck is going on over here?
The 90s became like anthropomorphized at a certain point.
Yeah. And now
when every decade ends, it becomes a person, right?
It's like a sentient being. This is our own multiverse, and we don't even know it, all right? Like, it gets spit out into space, right? Like, it's time, right? Time and space.
Time and space.
Look, I don't know, like.
I agree. Yeah, so the 90s were like, what the fuck?
They were.
Well,
I don't know what we were talking
I'm sure
about.
Once 9/11 happened, the 90s were like, bye.
I don't know that person. Yeah, you do, dude. You were talking to her the whole time.
90s is Mariah Carey going, I don't know her.
Yeah, right. And then he's like, and we're like, you know him. You know him.
I don't know. I don't feel as stressed or angry now as I did, say, 6 months ago. And I think there's an obvious reason for that, which is a change in the leadership of the country.
Yeah.
So
I don't have this existential dread in my fucking heart every day when I wake up, but like.
Right. That gif of Captain Picard saying damage report, every morning.
Yeah, fucking A, man. I don't fucking check Twitter every morning, like, when this motherfucker rattle off last night. You know what? Right. Joe Biden's too busy picking up his fucking dog's poop, like, and fucking biting people. Joe Biden's got some fucking problem, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a real problem. That sounds like news.
He's like such an old man up there, and like, you really just, Grandpa's being crazy again, but like, whatever.
He adopted this fucking dog that won't behave, and he won't train it.
Everyone's grandpa did that, right? Let me tell you something. My grandpa did that. He took that dog off the street. He raised that dog, and when he died, that dog came to me, and that was the best damn dog I ever had. America, just fucking let Joe Biden raise your dog. All right?
Or your grandpa. If Joe Biden's not available, get your grandpa.
But not if they're racist, because there are a lot of grandpas that are pretty fucking racist.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. Well, yeah, I guess if he trains the dog to be racist, that could be a problem.
No, thank you. Number one, don't be a racist. But number two, don't
make the dog a racist too.
Dogs don't know that. I don't know though. There's something. No, there's not. Dogs don't know racism, but there is something to be said of dogs like